for you, and it's a scam. You've lost that time and that money. So make sure you do use the government site. Basically, you create an ID, create a new FAFSA form, and what's important if your student is thinking about coming here is to put in our code, which is 026021. So what types of financial aid are out there? You know, the two most popular ones are federal student loans, which are also known as Stafford loans. And those are loans that are given again by the federal government. For 2019, I believe it's $5,500. The other thing people also are really looking at is the Pell Grant, which is a need-based grant based on your FAFSA, and that does not need to be paid back. The maximum Pell Grant is around $6,750. So if you were in that situation, and everyone's different, you'd have about $12,000 towards tuition for the school. Other options are Parent Plus loans. That's also run through the federal government and run off the FAFSA. It's where a student applies for it. Private loans through Sallie Mae requires a co-signer. Those are options. And then again, the state need grant college bound scholarships are good enough you pay back all grants. So the big thing is, even with all these loan options, the federal loan, Stafford Pell Grant will not cover all tuition. So you will need to either have some type of scholarships or pay, cash, or take out other loans. So we really focus on scholarships. Our scholarships have two deadlines. One is in, I believe, early. That's a good question. Ashley, when's this scholarship deadline in November? In November?
Okay, so there's two main scholarship deadlines. There's one December 1st for the Early Acceptance Merit Scholarship, and that would be for students who are applying early for fall of 2020. So I would see that coming into play if it was a junior who was applying early, which is a really great thing to do, or a student who might be taking a gap year and applying early for fall of 2020. They could also do that and then look into the Early Acceptance Merit Scholarship. Then the next scholarship deadline would be March 1st, and that is the bulk of the rest of the scholarships that we offer. So the deadlines are post-March deadlines, so all the materials need to be mailed in by March 1st and December 1st, but students can start working.
Is this all on your scholarship page online?
It is. Can I make a quick announcement?
Absolutely.
Okay. So really quick announcement, all of the students today in their green bag have gotten a application fee waiver. So they can actually apply for free and they don't have to worry about that application fee. On the first floor, all of the computers have been opened up to the application page. So that makes it really easy today for them to just go sit down, fill out the application. If they don't have their portfolio with them, that's totally fine. They can just email whichever rep has a card in their bag, just email that to us. So me, Ashley, or Sierra, or Chris. So if you go home and you want to apply using this, you would just need to email one of us and we'll send you the direct link. Does anybody have any questions on that?
There's a window of time for the rest of that portfolio once they submit their application.
Yes.
So they'll only have a week or two to get that.
Yes.
Is it like 12 drawings or 10?
10 images of what you feel is your best work. Yeah.
If you've already applied, can you apply the coupon?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. So I know there's a few of you here today who have already applied. We will apply the application fee to your account. I think there's a few of you here today. And we know who you are, so we'll take care of that.
I just had a question. Can it be too early to apply? My daughter is graduating this year and planning on taking a gap year. Okay. So she's just beginning like the process of applying.
So you can apply today if you're applying for this fall 2019 or 2020. So if she would like to take a gap year and apply for 2020, the only difference is when she fills out the application, she'll just choose that year. So it gives you the option of 2019 or 2020. If you are a freshman or a sophomore, it may be a little bit too early, but we will have more events like this. So at that point, you can get another waiver. Any other questions? Okay. I would just say, if you have time today, really try to do that application, even if you don't have your portfolio, if it's something you wanna do. That way, we'll see the application come through, and one of our admissions reps will be in touch with you right away. Right, let's you guys get back to it.
Thanks. So what we have available right now, so if you're looking at 2019 fall, there's a $4,500 Follow Your Dreams tuition waiver. It's on our website. That is available. And then also everyone that goes to high school in Oregon, Washington, and Idaho is eligible for a $1,000 scholarship from their guidance counselor. And you know that we can do. Scholarships. One thing you do to get your students in school, encourage them to apply and write for scholarships. It's like the last thing they want to do. It can be painful. I tell them, once you get the first essay done, just recycle it. Use it for every scholarship, and just get the one done, and then we go from there. There's so much money out there. I just show you what we have right now. But check with your local Rotary Club. If you know someone's in an organization, people want to give away money. Students need to take the time and effort to do it. It's free money sitting there for the taking. I wish all of them would do it, but
You mean they need to ask for help?
you need to ask for help. Yes, exactly. I do not write scholarship applications. I do write recommendations for scholarships. But, so how much can you get? It depends. It's really going to be based off that FAFSA. What that FAFSA is doing is looking at your income and then determining through a model how much you qualify. Again, it doesn't, basic financial aid doesn't cover all of our tuition. And financial aid packages can vary from student to student. So again, what your neighbor got doesn't mean exactly what you're going to get versus someone else. So every year, once your student is here at school, every year you reapply for FAFSA, October 1st of every year. Some things, and this can get a little tricky, the way our schedule is, it's a year-round school. We do 2 semesters in an academic year, so there's kind of some crossover years. So the Pell Grant, if you're eligible, may not be available in the junior year, based on how that schedule works. And then there's some also state need grant, college-bound scholarships. There's also some blackout periods as well too. And as you can tell, I am not the financial aid officer. But a couple of websites that are good to always check out: studentloans.gov, studentaid.ed.gov, and finaid.org. And our financial aid officer is Julie Perigard, and she's looking at the second floor, and she is always excited to talk with people about financial aid. I help. I don't do the financial aid. I don't warrant stuff. So
You'd be a great person to send an email to for many of more in-depth questions, because that is her full-time job. She's very well rounded with that knowledge.
Just a high-level question, hopefully. So I know I've looked at the tuition number that we spoke about. Are there any other fees that aren't well explained on the website, or anything else that we should be aware of?
students are responsible for their own materials and books.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're gonna, there's gonna be various materials for different classes. Hopefully they would get some sort of laptop so they could work from home. But at the same time, if they really needed to, we're open Monday through Friday. They have classes Monday through Thursday. We have somebody here until 8 o'clock, and they're allowed to, open, and welcome to, work on the computer labs with all the software. Yeah, there's not that many hidden fees. I mean, every once in a while, you know, we students complain about some of the coursework material, but that's gonna be like just like any other school where, I mean, I remember I dropped out of the class once because the guy wanted me to buy his own book. I was like, wait, it was at WSU. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know.
I think most students are getting their books on Amazon, either buying them or renting them, which I know that you can rent your books on Amazon, which is pretty cool. So there's no hidden fees. Obviously, we'll talk about here in a minute, we don't provide housing. So housing, living expenses, obviously another, cost of attending school. Books, supplies.
The transportation and all that's pretty good around here, so I mean, they could get by without having a car.
So, well, something that, talk about benefits of our school, could be a benefit, could not be a benefit, because we provide free parking. And then transportation, the little tram here, talk about.
It's called a link, yeah, which is free. I don't know if any, how many are you, from out of this area, this region?
Oh,
Okay.
region?
Yeah, well, we got the link, which, one of the stops is literally just behind the school and like 20 yards down. That goes all the way to Tacoma Dome. That's free, they can hop on it, and so if they're within walking distance of that, then they can easily get to the school. Housing will be the biggest expense to figure out how to make that work. If you live locally, if your kid's willing to commute, that's the cheapest way to do it, but a lot of them are gonna be itching to get out of the house and be a college kid. So, but as far as like hidden fees within the program, there's not really. It's gonna be, this class requires you to get, you know, this book. And that might be an expensive book as college goes, but it's gonna be pretty much that.
Any questions? Financial aid, scholarships?
Is it possible that later I can make an appointment with Julie?
Sure.
About talking about the college family stuff?
Absolutely. All right, this is a little bit closer to home, student services. Little backstory, I came here in a really roundabout way. Worked for 25 years in the financial industries. Started my career at Wall Street, New York, made my way out to Seattle, worked in banking, have a bachelor's degree and master's, MBA. And 2013, I had a heart attack at work, and just had re-examined my life, what I was doing. And I quit my job, and I went to Woodard Boatbuilding School out on the Holy Peninsula, and loved it, but had an opportunity when I graduated to go work for the school. And so started working for the boat school out there and doing the same thing I do here. And turned out, I thought my passion was boat building, and turned out it was education. So that's why I'm here, because I love what I do. And I love working with students. And it's really important, especially working, I was working with adult learners before, working with kids right out of high school. Just, they're so passionate about what they want to do, but then they have great skills. And I look at their art and stuff, and I'm like, amazing skills, something I could never do. And they're so shy, and they're just very attentive, and they don't have the self-assurance. And so what student services is really about is providing them all the resources and anything they need to be successful. Because as we talked, taking the classes is just part of it, and being good at that. It's really everything else as experience that's going to make a successful student or graduate. So I help them everything from housing to mental health. I'm not a counselor, but I do refer them to counselors. Everything from the car breaking down to, you know, just any issues that they're going to deal with. And it's taken some time with each class to get them to get comfortable. Once they get comfortable and they feel like they can trust somebody, they do come and open up. And that's some of the things I'm going to talk to you about today. One of the things for students coming in and family coming in for 2019, so I started a Facebook page. Turns out kids don't use Facebook. What's going on?
So 2017.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that if you're, that's the purpose of that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe start doing on Twitter, or I have no idea.
Instagram.
Instagram. It'll be something next week. Different. So as you heard, we don't provide housing. In your the green bag say should be a pretty thick housing guide. It's just informational only. Tons of information on housing in the area. We have tons of local people that grew up in the area, and it's changed. The program changed. So 10 years ago, they didn't use Windows, you know, Microsoft, and then 10 years before that, they didn't have computers, and so it's
Yeah, we were just talking to Sky, who's the IT guy around here. He just said that when they purchased this building, again, when we moved in in September, he bought $160,000 worth of new Macs because he's like, it was in the budget and he wanted it, so he bought the big ones that are on the end of the hall and some of the other ones on the other floors. So it's definitely an evolving program, and it will change again. But right now, the double majors that we do offer, I don't see that changing anytime soon. That I showed earlier, those options. The one that used to be on there was the illustration entertainment art one, and that's the most recent change that we've done.
I'm gonna run through 5 minutes of material in about 30 seconds. Does it look familiar to anyone?
Nope,
Yeah.
not after the 7th kid.
First one
I hate to bring up the H word, but I will say it. One of the things you can do to support your student is not support your student. Not really those terms, but the best way to support your student is by maybe not helping them as much as you think you know. You know, what we're hoping to see them really achieve through this process and through their experiences, you know, responsibility, making decisions, and reaching that financial independence. A student coming in today just literally did not know how to make a budget for their housing expenses and their food and their utilities, and just didn't know how to make it work. It just was flying blind. So we'll teach a budgeting optional class for students here in a couple weeks. Again, I love this one. Yes, mother, I told you I'm doing fine on my own at college. Hey, could you log on, find my schedule, order my books, and call me when it's time for class? So we want to avoid those type of things. This is really hits home a lot. Having 8 students in college and 1 going to college. It used to be these 2 things were the biggest worry, that those were the things that were causing problems with the students. And it's really changed. Look at this 5 years ago, those were higher and the stress, anxiety, depression were lower. But the reality is, this is what your kids are facing. This is what I see every single day. He's dealing with stress and anxiety, depression, and to the extent that they come ask for help and we can get them some help, I think it makes a big difference. In a lot of cases, it's life-saving for a lot of students. Work. I know students need to work to make ends meet, but more often than not, work is getting in the way of school. And maybe it needs to happen, and we prioritize better. One of the things I'm instituting is a study hall for freshmen. They leave school, go to work, go home, and they do what I do. I turn the TV on and I eat and I'm done. So I'm trying to force them to stay and have a half hour, an hour after school, before they leave the campus. Stay here for an hour, one of the classrooms, the computers, or one of this classroom, and get your work done. Get some of it done. Just take the pressure off of it, not having to do it. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, so paying attention to what's going on. You know, missing classes, not going to school, changes in sleep patterns, social networks, statements about self-harm. I've unfortunately had a lot of experience with that, looking at adult school. And I'm going to Washington. There's a big conference here in a couple weeks in Seattle about this topic at colleges here in Washington. So I asked the question: if someone comes in and they're distraught, and I think that something's really bad, I will ask them. And it doesn't happen here, but it happens all over college campuses across the country. So how can you help? Listen. Discourage over communication. I read something that if your high school student texts you 5 times a day, in high school, you should get 1 text a week in college. So, I don't know if it's true or not, if that really works, but that's the level of where your communication should be. Make sure they know the resources available. Again, like you said, you may not be able to help them, they don't listen to you. But know that every teen here in college, I have to abide by federal regulations. I will tell you that if something bad happens, I would go film with you. So, despite this, but if you call in and say, how's Susie's grades going? Sorry, but I can't tell you. How's we can't tell you. But what you can do is have your student make sure to get us to sign a waiver to consent to you to get information. That's between you and your student, but we encourage you to do that because it just makes sense. And that's all I have. Fabulous. Questions?
One thing I'd recommend, if you're financially able to float it, and they don't have to work for their first academic year, which is 8 months, September through April, so they can focus on school, I would do that. Not everybody can, and I understand that. But if you could have them just focus on school, that's gonna be, get the foundation grades started, let them understand what that workload looks like. They'll have more free time to connect with the community, with their peers, so on and so forth. I would say would be the easiest way from a career standpoint, career services standpoint, to establish students so that they don't flounder and they're trying to float too many responsibilities when before, all they were doing was their laundry and mowing the lawn and putting their own money into their gas tank, stuff like that. Because it's a big jump. I mean, it's without question, it's a big jump. So if that's one stressor you could remove, even if it's for the first semester, I would say anything like that's going to be beneficial.
And force them, help them get good study habits. So if they are living from home and commuting, make sure they have a space to study. Make sure they go home and study and they're not on their phone or their iPad or whatever. But or if they get bad grades, we're going to force them out.
What is I know you mentioned Monday through Thursday as classes. Is it 9 to 5? Is it?
Predominantly. So I mean, they might not be here every day. And afterwards, I can pull up the current schedule just so you have an idea.